in person, you can create energy, you can create enthusiasm, you can create trust, most importantly, like you can never online.
That was the aha moment, which was, we're not the experts in everything. Right? Like, yeah, we know a little bit about the tax codes. We know a little bit about where you can invest and how to invest and financing. But we're not necessarily the experts in all those, but there is experts out there.
It started in a clubhouse room. Then it went online. Then the world evolved. Now we have this cool thing called AI that's apparently not going away. Welcome back to Signature Insights. There's a lot of conversations in our industry about lead generation, marketing, and growing your business. But long before any of those strategies work, there's something much more fundamental at play, and that is trust. Today's guest has spent years building businesses, creating communities, and perhaps most importantly, learning from some of the best minds in real estate. Through their platform, Kobe, live events, countless conversations, and economists, developers, investors, top-performing agents, they've had a unique opportunity to study what consistently separates those who build lasting businesses from those who simply have good years. Today, we're talking about what they've learned, how agents can build real authority in today's market, and why knowing what to do is rarely the hardest part. Jas, Simeon, thanks, guys, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us, my friend.
It's going to be a good time.
Let's go. And you're one of the brilliant minds that we've learned from. So it's kind of cool to
that's very
have the tables turned. Usually we're interviewing you.
Well, I've had the honor of being able to watch you guys develop and grow, over the last 16 years, is it now? Yeah. And it's, when you have real entrepreneurs that are testing the limits, testing the boundaries, pushing, it's super exciting to be around. So grateful to have you guys here today.
You still found a way to keep your hair, not like us today.
Yeah.
I love you more.
It's magic. It's magic.
I love you more.
Yeah.
I don't know what the secret is.
Yeah. Neither do I. Look, there's really an interesting distinction in our industry today between being well-known and being well-respected. And I think social media, all the different platforms out in the world today have evolved that a lot. And, when you think about the agents who've built lasting businesses, what do you think creates authority rather than just simply visibility? Because, look, anybody can put their face on a social platform and get some exposure. But what's really... like, you guys have established yourselves as literally an authority, primarily, I would say, and not just real estate, but thoroughly on investment real estate, on what it means to own real estate, what it means to think long-term about real estate.
That's right.
Like, it's
what it means to run a business and create a business.
Yeah.
And it's to what you said a second ago, to getting attention, to building authority. Stunting can get you attention. If I were to run down the street shirtless and say I'm a crazy realtor, it'll get all sorts of...
Nobody wants to see that, by the way.
But nobody wants to see that, and nobody will give you business for it. So acting a fool online, which is what most people do for attention, that's the dancing TikTok comparison. Yeah. So does it work? Do people appreciate it? Sure, for a laugh, but not when you're negotiating for a $50,000 commission check. It's not going to help you.
That's for sure.
So when people ask, when they talk about value proposition, which is the most overused word, in my opinion, at this point,
yes,
they're looking for authority.
Yeah.
The consumer, if we're talking about real estate services, the consumer is looking for trust.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I trusting with my business, my biggest business of my life? But to the consumer, 90% of consumers either are tenants or they own a place, and that's as simple as it is. For the 5% of the population that owns a second property, it's, again, another whole different gear. But people are looking for trust, and that authority can only come from taking your business seriously.
And I think one thing that we did really early on, and hopefully this resonates with people that are just like maybe got their license yesterday, which is building authority through association. So we were kind of joking at the start, like usually the tables are turned. We're usually interviewing you. I'm not sure if everyone knows like the depth of knowledge that you personally have when it comes to real estate, not only as
generational.
6 decades, I think it is, right? And so someone like yourself. But then we did, and you mentioned it in the intro, I believe, like we brought on economists. We brought on people that know more than both of us, right? I mean, we're in our mid 40s, but there's guys and girls that have been doing this for a lot longer than we have. And what I think we did really well is be the messenger, right? So yes, we showed up, and it's important to show up. You gotta start somewhere. But we brought on people that are either doing it at a high level, did it at a high level, investing into real estate. And we just kind of passed the message along through videos, through podcasts, blogs. Something that we've been doing for 21 years is live events. It's funny being in this room because we probably have held, I don't know, like without exaggeration, 1,000 events in this room, bringing people and just educating them. So the dancing on TikTok, look, I think there is some value to that because it's entertaining for people. Sure. And so if you can stop someone's scroll by dancing on TikTok, great. You got to the first step, right? We took the path of, with all joking aside, nobody wants to see us dancing. And so we took the path of educating people. And so I think that's really probably more how we did it.
I ask you, like, was there a moment in time as you built your database, we'll call it, for like I want to say it's an old school term. Yeah. Now it's, a following.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
When you built your following on social, was there a moment in time where it just kind of clicked? You were like, hey, you know what? People are appreciating this. It's resonating. Like we're gathering momentum.
No, I believe we knew all along because we did it in real life. So IRL, in real life, because that's an actual term now. Since we met our late business partner, may he rest in peace, and our mentor in this business, which was Simon, since we met him, we started with rooms of 20 chairs at the TD reception area of the tower, where employees would do lunch and learns. And like, I'm talking craziness, millions of them. Yeah. Like, I can't even tell you the instances of how early, since the inception of my real estate career, this is the man that I ran into. And he showed me what teaching and sharing knowledge does. And that builds trust. Gatekeeping knowledge does the opposite.
Especially at a time where you can get all that knowledge for free, right?
But this is when Google came about.
Yeah.
So like people are like, oh, well, you're telling everybody to sell their own house? We're like, sure we are. How many people would actually do that though? 1%? Yeah.
2%. And then that's the actual number, right? Like it's 2%, right?
Who cares? I can tell somebody 1,000,000 times, like, do this for your health. Who's going to do it? Nobody. Yeah. There's a reason for it. Yeah. There's a reason people pay for a personal trainer. If I could get my ass to the gym, I would. But when I pay somebody $100 and I don't show up, and they take my money, all of a sudden I show up.
Yeah, you got skin in the game, right?
You got skin in the game, and that's with everything. But that empowerment, we knew early on that it works in real life. And when social media started coming around, because like we're that crop, right? We're like 2007, Facebook came out.
Yes.
I was 27. So I'm 46 now, but like to think like nothing existed before. That wasn't an option. So when Facebook first came out, everybody's like, oh, Facebook, it's nothing. When this came out, oh, Instagram is nothing. It's just pictures for photographers. Sure it is. When you have 10, 15, 20, 30, 50,000 people now following you, you influence opinion. You shape it.
Yeah, and there's synergy in a room, especially when you do it live. I get the question a lot.
Do you remember nights, what was it? Not Coffee with Jas.
Nightcap with Jas.
Nightcap with Jas.
Yeah.
Thousands of people would log on, go pour themselves a drink.
I was also during COVID, so I think nobody had anything to do at that time. But yes, you're right.
No, man. Yeah. But like this is like when we talk about leadership and being ahead of the curve, those lives the only lives that existed is, I don't know, singers, girls. Not for business. Yeah. We did it for authority. You built authority for real estate agents by doing so.
Yeah.
Sharing business knowledge. So like all these things, I think, is something that we kept proving to ourselves. Like, how do we stay relevant in this business? Because we enjoy it. and how do we monetize it furthermore?
Of course.
And the question that you asked there, Chris, in terms of how it clicked, I know for myself, I remember telling Seamless about this, that a client walked into our office at the back here, and I'm going through my normal pitch about a project. It was actually a student housing project we had in Waterloo. And husband and wife, they stopped me halfway. And, I've been in sales for, at that time, maybe it was 25 years or something. I'm like, oh, did I offend someone? Like, yeah, I'm going through my head. And she's like, Jas, can you just stop? We've already seen everything about this project on the video that you guys put out to us. We're just here to find out, can we actually qualify to get to? And that's when they left. I was shocked. I looked over to Simos and I said, like, we're on to something really here with the scaling of the video. So the live events.
Where the work was done.
The work was done while they were in their pajamas, drinking a glass of wine, maybe at midnight. Sure. They came in already, I'm going to say 60, 70% in. Now my job was to really not just screw it up.
Yeah.
Right. And the question that I get a lot is, should I do in-person events or social media, i.e. podcasts or videos? I believe it's an and.
Yes.
You got to do both.
Yeah.
Because when you can do both, you can scale it through online, but in person, there's this synergy that happens. There's this
connection,
the FOMO almost, like, oh, if Jane's doing it, maybe I should do it as well.
But it's also $1 million. Like, it's different if you're selling,
mugs.
Yeah. Like you can do that online, no problem.
Yeah.
There's not a big.
These are big ticket items.
These are big ticket items, and for as long as humans have a heartbeat and humans feel things.
Yes.
If I'm about to spend $250,000, $500,000, $1 million on something, being able to say hi, is this guy actually real? Like, is he real?
Yes.
It helps.
Yeah, for sure.
It helps.
For sure.
So in person, you can create energy.
Yeah.
You can create enthusiasm. You can create trust, most importantly, like you can never online. Online is the end.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
Yep.
Interesting, because I was thinking about content in general, because a lot of people aren't sure what to do for content. Now, you've touched on it already by talking about education, and that's a place close to my heart, because that's how we've always, seen the business and the industry is, if we're great educators, people are going to appreciate us. And that's what you guys have done from day one, as you explained. So the content that was your cue, right?
Yes.
You know what? Let's just educate.
And bring other, like, people that are smarter than us to the conversation.
Never being the smartest in the room.
That was a big, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, that was the aha moment, which was, we're not the experts in everything. Right? Like, we know a little bit about the tax codes. We know a little bit about where you can invest and how to invest and financing, but we're not necessarily the experts in all those, but there is experts out there, right? They used to say, what is it, 6 degrees of separation? Now it's probably like 1 degree of separation with social media, 2 degrees. If you take that path, especially the newer agents, because I find they're like, well, I haven't put enough deals together. I'm not comfortable telling people that they should be doing this. How about you don't tell them? How about you just bring someone on, have a conversation, just like we're having right now, and let the person who's watching and listening connect with you or your guest. You'll become the authority through association, right? Yeah.
You're the connector.
You're the connector. That's it. I mean, in fact, that's what we do probably most of now. 21 years later, our events even, we have an educational component to some of our webinars, but our in-person events have completely shifted in the last 2 years, I would say, where it's kind of cool to see, obviously, now, because now we're bringing people together that have purchased with us. They're bringing their friends and family, and we're just feeding them.
Yeah.
The guys can tell we like to eat.
You guys know how to put on a good meal.
Well, I'll give it to this guy. As much as I can throw him under the bus, I can't throw him under the bus about him cooking and his
You guys saw what I made yesterday.
Yeah. So now we're
on my Instagram.
There you go. Take a look at it. There you go. Now bringing people there, we're connecting them through like our community tables, and they're coming, they're eating, they're talking about what they have. Moreover, especially in today's market, because we find that most agents are, look, I hate to say it like this, but, and hopefully it's not a lot of people right now in the business, but a lot of agents we're finding are just putting their head in the sand right now, because I don't want to speak to my clients because they bought something from me in 2021 at the peak of the market. The values have gone down. I don't know what to say to them. How about you just call and see how they're doing?
100%.
What if they need something? They might need to refi. Maybe they don't. Maybe they need some type of insurance. I don't know what it is. But if you don't reach out, they're going to now think that you just had commission breath. And so what we're doing is we're reaching out to people, and without any exaggeration, we have people coming to our events and they're suffering. They're suffering because of the way that the market is, but they all leave the same way, saying, thank you for putting this on. At least you guys are not hiding, right? And that was the most recent aha moment, which we said, oh, we're just going to do these types of events now.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys have built, I don't know, have you calculated how many hours of content you guys have? Do you know right now?
I like to say we're probably in the neighborhood of somewhere of 15,000 to 20,000 hours of content.
For sure.
Somewhere in that neighborhood now.
So you evolved your business. You built a platform, Broker's Playbook, which now
was just
recently been acquired
Yep.
by Kobe.
Yeah.
Tell me about that evolution. Like, you have so much great content. I mean, it's incredible. And you've now, have evolved it into a plan for helping people.
Yeah. And it really is a B2B and a B2C business model that we built. But I'll let you speak about kind of the evolution of Broker's Playbook into
Sure.
Kobe.
And I mean, this takes kind of everything we've ever done, because everything we've built has always been tested first. So even though it appears to most people like we roll the dice on a consistent basis from an entrepreneurship perspective, as 100% entrepreneurial beings that we all are at this table, nobody here reported anywhere and punch a card in. We've been rolling the dice since we're born. However, there is levels of recklessness, and there's levels of conservatism, and there's levels of, or ways of doing business. We've been so fortunate that over the last, call it 20 years, 15 to 20 years, we've built a massive audience database. When I decided that Broker's Playbook was a good idea, what Broker's Playbook was 2 months ago before the acquisition, to what Broker's Playbook was 5 years ago when it started, is as similar as night is to day. It started as a clubhouse room during COVID.
That's right.
Where you were invited, Phil Soper was invited, Doug Ford was invited, but somehow and for some reason people showed up. And then we had thousands of people coming into those rooms. When those people came into the rooms, and agents were like, well, how is it possible that you're doing business when nobody's even allowed to put gas in their car? We're like, well, we're doing it this way. And we talk about pre-construction modeling, whatever. Before long, agents are saying, well, how do I do that? Okay, I'm thinking to myself, if I just give you access, I can get a co-op. So for anybody who doesn't know what that is, that's co-op, sharing commission for access to deals. And as we had been highly successful for many years, we had a lot of access. We still enjoy unfettered access to the nation's biggest condominium market, which then evolved to more people and more people. We had written a couple hundred deals in a matter of a year, a couple hundred deals with other people we've never met, from rooms on Clubhouse, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever the case may be. We're like, okay, well, there's two things that's happening right now. One is people don't know how to sell, and they want to, so there's a need for training. Because they're asking, and I'm spending hours on the phone
Helping them.
And I'm doing so, A, because I like helping people, and B, I have a chance of making 1%, 2% of whatever their effort is. So there's a monetary and a soul reason to do it. It fulfills both, makes me complete. Which leads to coaching.
Yeah.
Jas starts from the ground up academy. For what reason? To put people in a room. People are like, every single day, oh, how do you do this? How do you get people to come to your events? How do you do this? He brought 30 people at a time into the back of this office. doing full-blown immersions. So as we're building all these modules, these life modules, for us, it's our life. This is the life we're living while selling real estate, while managing a team of 50 agents, while kids are growing up. It's like life is happening. Like, just like your kids today. A couple of trees.
They're happening.
They're happening. But like, this is our life modules. So like, there's nothing that Playbook and the acquisition now with Kobe for us now putting every single business we've ever done in one common vertical is been tested. Every single molecule has been quadruple tested, talked about to death. The hours and time we spend talking and talking and talking it through is I've never known anybody who's talked more to come to a single decision. And I mean, questioned, argued, fought over in every single way. And that is why typically our ideas succeed. Not because we're lucky or we're the best. It's because we'll come to a decision, then we'll come to your office and run it by you. And you're going to be like, well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Or you're going to say it's the greatest thing you've ever heard. But like,
I don't think I've ever said that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
well, I mean,
You say it in a different way. Chris has a different way of saying these things.
I've read your thoughts. No, but at the end of the day, like we have so many like backstops,
Yes.
like the sump pump. You know what I mean? Like somebody's going to catch it before it goes awful.
Yeah. Yep.
And having that, like, and maybe that's why so many people struggle is because they're solo, not having that, whether it's your broker owner, whether it's your manager, whether it's your support system. Like to build a strong business, you have to have both support in your home if you have a family. Without that, you're going to fail guaranteed. And of course, you need a support system in your business. And I think that's kind of how Kobe has come to be. And I'm sure we'll talk about Kobe, but because that could actually help agents. That could be the support system potentially now with AI moving so fast. We'll talk about that, but like that's how it all came to be. Every single thing we've ever touched has merged into this.
So before we get to talking about Kobe, I wanted to ask you a question because on this idea, what you were just talking about, you have had thousands, tens of thousands of hours of conversations with people, ideas shared, strategies. Are there themes, before we get into talking about Kobe as a platform, but are there themes that you've kind of, either principles or themes that you hear over and over again that now kind of guide your thinking about yourselves, your business?
Yeah, for sure. I think for us, I mean, it's a tactical thing, which is making sure that you're trying to generate business every single day. And so we probably spend, aside from working on the platform, getting feedback, arguing with each other to try to come to a decision, we're always in lead generation mode.
Like action talks, bullshit walk. And action.
And I think that starts from when I was saying tactical, which is time blocking. Like for us, the theme that we've seen the top producers do, they just block out time. And it's not, you know what, I'm going to start prospecting tomorrow and they never get to it. It's not one of those things. It's like, I know I'm going to prospect from 9 a.m. till 12 in the afternoon, whatever it's going to be.
So it's like if he's prospecting.
Yeah, it's in the schedule and it's going to happen and it's consistent. And they know that it's boring. That's the theme.
Gotcha.
Really. They know, personally, I've been prospecting my whole life in sales. This is all I've ever done. And it's not sexy. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably wake up know that, okay, I have to do that and I get to it, but I don't wake up every day that I can't wait to prospect today. It's not it's just, I need to prospect. It's like brushing my teeth. And so the time blocking is the theme that I've seen the top producers use, that they just stick to it. And it doesn't matter if they're having a good day or a bad day. They know that they're going to get to it and then they're going to do it the day after and the day after. Now, some guys and gals just do it longer. Some people are in it 80% of their day, when I think you can get to that place when you can start to delegate.
And I think, Simeon, you use the word consistency. And I think that, would you say that if you're looking at today's market, those that are successful today, is consistency really
That's it. Number one.
It's the only thing.
Because if you think about anything else in your life,
No, consistent at what?
right?
They're consistent at prospecting, consistent on showing up, consistent on coming to the office, consistent on asking for advice, consistent on reading their book, consistent on watching the news, consistent on staying on top, consistent. I could talk a million miles an hour, say the exact same thing a million ways. They're consistent at whatever it is that got them there to begin with. Full stop.
And of course, knowing what to be consistent with is critical.
That's the art. That's the art.
And so jumping back to Kobe now, because I've been following your growth and your trajectory, and I know the kind of content you've created. I've watched you create it. I've watched you develop your business, and I know how incredible it is. Tell me now, because technology, like you said just a couple of minutes ago, 5 years ago it started in a clubhouse room, then it went online, then the world evolved. Now we have this cool thing called AI that's apparently not going away. Tell me now what is Kobe today, and how do you see that as a future evolution?
Everybody can be consistent for a week. We continue to ask, fight, wrestle every single day as to what the best thing to provide the industry with that's going to save the most time, that's going to help the next person become more consistent for longer while producing the most. This platform that we're building is our way of giving back to what's been taught to us.
It's really distilling and delegating all the work that an agent either doesn't like to do or shouldn't be doing, and allows them to actually get in touch with their clients.